Welcome to part 2 of the July-August term, 1942 for World in Flames CE, Days of Decision 3, a combined game playthrough. We are picking up on the next set of impulses. That'll be 10, 11, and 12. I've already done both the Communists and the Democrats. I've already done their impulses. I'll give you a quick review of what they've done. So the Communists are putting together a line of some sort. It's kind of shady in a few places, but it's not too bad. There's a bunch of German units that have flipped over, so that's kind of saving their bacon right now. So the Communist Chinese, they didn't do anything. The Democrats, see the U.S., they moved a few units around. They're basically trying to get things into a position where they can start doing something. They did send the Atlantic Fleet out a couple of impulses ago right there. And that was about it for the Democrats. I think the Commonwealth took a land impulse, shore themselves up down here in Africa. They're holding on to the Suez Canal, just barely, but they're holding it. And they moved a few units over here, trying to keep the Italians from sweeping them out of Syria and taking Iraq. I think that was about it for them. Of course, the Free French didn't do too much. Then we rolled into the fascist impulse. So the fascists, the Italians and Germans took naval impulses. The Japanese took a land impulse. So I think what we'll do is we'll pick up with the Japanese right now where they're at. That'll be over here in China. Okay, I had to go find my dice. All right. So what we got here is we got a land impulse for the Japanese. We have a ground strike here. 3 air units on a ground strike and 1 on ground support. Now the Chinese do have an anti-aircraft unit here. It's a 6th strength anti-aircraft unit, which when firing at tactical tactical bombers, it fires at half its strength, but it does get to fire 4 times. So that's going to be a total of 12 anti-aircraft factors. The Chinese are going to fire it at the ground strikers. So we have 12 anti-aircraft factors, and that's going to be, there are 3 bombers. It's going to be 2 dice, the lowest of which. So roll 2 dice. Now the lowest is a 3. What does that mean? Well, back in a second. Okay, it doesn't do anything. It's only for air to sea factors. The Chinese would have had to roll at least 5 points to abort 1 bomber. So we got 3 ground strikes. We have a 2, a 3, and a 2. And there are 3 units there. We'll go top to bottom. We'll roll the 2s first, and then the 3. So for the first unit, nothing, and the 3 flips him over. So this guy is going to be flipped over. Yeah, that's right. Just go right over there. So I'll put him aside for now. And then the next unit, 2 2s. He's flipped over. Roll a 1 and a 3, so that works for that. And the last unit, 2 2s and then a 3. 2 2s and then a 3. Oh, and we got the 3. Got a 3. So that will flip over that unit as well. So all 3 units are flipped over. We have ground support here coming in. The ACAC unit has fired, so it is flipped over. So we got 3-to-1 attack on the assault column. We're going to have a +3. And we're going to add HQ benefits, because I think there are 2 HQs here, and we're going to use this one. Uzumu. So HQ benefits is going to be a 3-to-1 +4. Well, that's not too bad for Japan. A 9. 9 + 4 is 13. There is a 13. 13 plus on 3-to-1 is *2S. So *2S, so all 3 units are destroyed. The 4 aircraft got to go back and rebase. Now let's see. Okay, these are all going to be cadre. Alright, the only Japanese unit that's flipped over is Uzumu for HQ benefits. The remaining units are face up. I think these ones will be occupying. See, he's going to stay there. And he will occupy. It's like that. Yeah. Alright. That was a lot of fun. Probably wasn't too fun for the Chinese, but it was fun. Alright, let's head on over to Europe. We have 2 potential naval battles. We're going to do the one with the Italians first, because the Italians, with some Spanish help, managed to take Gibraltar. They staged their fleet there, and now they got the fleet went out to play with the British. So we have to turn over a unit. Let's see. So initiate combat. So we'll flip this guy over. We'll just put him outside for now. There we go. And we roll some search dice. Search dice. Where are you, search dice? Well, that's not a very good roll. We got a 3 for the fascists and a 9 for the Commonwealth. So the fascists found the fleet with their main fleet. The Spanish did not find anything. So let's see, that's going to be box, that's 9 plus 4. Do I have a... Nope, don't have a range for combat carrier air group. So so it's a 4 plus 9 is 13. 3 plus 3 is 6. It's 7 surprise points. 7 surprise. Alright, I gotta add this up. We'll be back in a sec. Okay, so I worked everything out. Now the Italians have to spend 4 surprise points to make it a surface combat, because the Commonwealth would have the option of doing an air combat, a surface air combat, air to sea combat type thing with their carrier air groups. They actually have 3 in that group. So they did spend the 4 surprise points for that. That leaves them with 3 surprise points. We have 112 surface combat factors for the Italian Navy with 36 ships, and the Commonwealth has 17 surface combat points with 13 ships. So what that results in, the Commonwealth inflicts 1 sunk, 2 damaged, 1 aborted. The Italians inflict 4 sunk, 2 damaged, 2 aborted. So we'll do the Commonwealth first. So they're going to go for a sunk on the... one of the old Italian battleships from the First World War. The Cavalier. I'm going to go for sunk on that. That's a 4. So we rolled a save. There's no place to roll dice anymore. We rolled the Italians rolled a 1. So he does save. So he is merely damaged. I'll put him here. Then we have 2 damages. 2 damages. We will pick the Triente. The Italians will pick the Triente damage. That's a 6. Roll a die. Roll the 5. So he is aborted right now. He is aborted. I'm just going to put him up here for now. He will be aborted because he made his damage save. The Commonwealth will pick the Coava, the one they just damaged. So the Italians will save it. Now it's a 5. Unfortunately, I think I did that in reverse. Yeah, I did. So this one is actually sunk. I rolled a 1 for that one. All right. Yeah, he is actually sunk. Okay. All right. So then they have 1 aborted. 1 aborted. And then they will pick the Andrea Doria. Why not? Try to abort that one. I think this is just going to result in 1 round of combat anyways. And the Andrea Doria is aborted. Alright. Okay, now the Italians. Yeah, because that one would have sunk the Cavalier. That's right. Okay, the Italians, they have 4 sunk. They're screening their carriers, so I got to sink everything before I can get to them. For the Italians. Let's see. I think this fleet has nothing but a pile of cruisers. No, there's 1 battleship. We're going to go after the Iron Duke, an old World War I battleship. Dusted off and put back into service, so the Commonwealth have to roll better than a 5. And they roll a 5, so he's sunk. So the 5 would sink him. You have to roll better than a 5. So then the Commonwealth will pick. We'll pick the Ajax. This has got to roll better than a 7 to save. And he does, so he's damaged. So the Ajax is damaged. So I'll put him here. And then the Italians will pick. There's actually 4 carrier groups. We're going to get rid of this, the Belgian ship. For a sunk, and he is sunk. And lastly, the Commonwealth will pick. We'll pick this guy. Cape Town. Better than an 8. Better than an 8. Sunk. 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 So that's it for that. And now we've got 2 damaged. So the he is damaged as well. So we'll pick the Ramillies for damage. No, that's that group. I'm mixing up my groups. I'm going to pick the Ajax for damage. If he gets another damage, and he does, he's sunk. And the Commonwealth will pick the Leander for damage. It is aborted. It is not damaged. Alright, and then we have 2 aborts. We'll just go the Cadets and the Aurora. Aurora, aborted. Cadets, aborted. Both of them are aborted. So most of this fleet is aborted. These guys are all aborted. This guy should have been in the... He should have been in there. Okay, so now either the Italians can abort or they're not going to abort. So the Commonwealth is going to abort because they have taken it on the chin, to say the least. So they're going to abort. Let's see, where can they go? They can go to the Central Atlantic and then through the, so that's 1, 2. They're going to abort. I can't go through here. Okay, it's aborted at the end of the round. That's right. It's not right now. All right, now we got another action. We actually got a couple actions over here because we got a sub-action, 2 potential sub-actions. All right, now we got this one. This will be different. All right, first we roll search dice. All right, let's roll some search dice and see what we get. Now we rolled a okay, let's show you what we got for search dice. Right there. All right. So that's a 2 and a 10. So all the German and Spanish units are included. I could really hobble the American fleet. Or I could pound the British fleet into the ground. Either or. The Germans could do either or. They get to pick their target. Alright, I'll be back. I gotta add some points up. Okay, I figured out all the numbers. There's a total of 10 surprise points for the Germans. We have 7 bombers going in. It's going to be an air to sea. There's a total of 15 air to sea combat factors. The Commonwealth has 39 AA points with 35 ships. So what the Germans are going to do is they're going to use 4 of their surprise points to shift the AA column down 2. And we go 1, 2, and we got 7 bombers. So it's going to be the lowest 2 out of 4 dice. Just happen to have 4 dice. I went and scrunged some dice. Alright, we'll roll them up here in the North Sea. Lowest 2 out of 4. Well, that to me looks like a 2 and a 4. So that's going to be 6 points. 6 points. Let's see. 6 points. I think that's going to abort. It's a German player's choice. Destroy 1 CVP or abort 1 other bomber. 1 CVP or abort 1 other bomber. Okay, we're going to destroy the BF 109 T1. I don't think the pilot, yes, there is a friendly port, so the pilot does survive. No, this is anti-aircraft. Pilots never survive. Okay, so he's destroyed. There is 1 remaining point that's going to abort 1 air-to-sea factor. So we've lost 2 air-to-sea factors. There are now 13 air-to-sea factors left. 13 air-to-sea. We're going to shift. We have 3 column shifts. Looks like 4 sunk, 2 damaged. 4 sunk and 2 damaged. So we're going to try to get rid of the worst bit. That'll be the first pick. Let's see, let's see if I can figure this out. There we go. All right. So the Commonwealth player will roll for the worst bit. That's a 5. He saves. He's damaged. Now the Commonwealth player will pick the Exeter to be sunk. That's a 6. And he rolled an 8, so he does save. So he is also damaged. Now the German player is going to pick the war spit again to be sunk. It's going to get sunk. It doesn't matter what I roll because it's going to be 2 damages. So that one is now sunk. And the Commonwealth player is going to pick the DoDII to be sunk. Oh, my big fat wrist. All right, and that's an 8. And he rolled a 10. He is damaged. Now there are 2 damage to be allocated. So the German player will pick the previously damaged Exeter. Has to roll better than a 7. Roll the 10. So now it's aborted. So it's going to be aborted to the damage. Actually, it's going to be aborted at the end of the round. Is it the end of the round? I think so. And the Commonwealth player will pick the... We're going to go with a repulse. Maybe we can save something with this. That's a 4. So this is for a damage. And he saves, so he is aborted. Alright, so this guy is damaged. He's a damaged ship. Okay. I don't think either side wants to abort at this point, so we're going to move forward with another round of combat. Let's see what we get. Rolled a 3 and a 1. Both sides are in it. So all the fascists and all the Commonwealth are in the attack with a 3 and a 1. Let's see if there's any surprise points here. So the fascists rolled a 3. Their highest box is 5. Plus the roll of 1 is 6. It's 6 to 6 because their highest box is 3 plus the roll of 3 is 6, so they're both 6s. So the Commonwealth wants a surface action, but unfortunately for them, it's going to be a naval air action. We're going to have a naval air action because that comes before. Nobody has enough surprise points to specifically buy a lower action or a higher action. So in this case, the action will be a surface air because the German player can pick that. So we're having a surface air action. All the points are as before. However, this fighter is now in it because the German rolled a 3, which at 2 becomes a 3 because of this. So we'd have some, I guess you can call them. We're going to have an air combat first. So there's the bomber stream for the Allies. And that's the combat. Actually, they're both bombers. That's the way it is. So the German player fires first. It's going to be a +7 column. That's just going to be a slaughter. Unfortunately, I can't abort. They're going to fight and everything. Yeah, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. All right. At least for the air groups. All right, so here we go. 7 to 2. Probably want to do that. That's a +5. A 5 on the +5 column for air combat. AX, attacker destroys front fighter. So he is dead. And the rolls back on the -5. A 19, that's not bad. On the -5. 19, DX. Defender aborts own front fighter, or oh, I'm sorry, DX. Defender destroys own front fighter or bomber. Well, let's see. I would have rearranged these. This would probably be going to be the front bomber. Actually, this one would be the front bomber. Alright, so he will be destroyed. I don't think a pilot. Both of them will get pilots. Okay, so I got 2 pilots I got to do. Second round, this is going to be +7 or -7 for the. It doesn't really matter who rolls first, I guess. -7, 11. So, okay, clears through a bomber. And for the Germans, they roll a 9 on the +7 column. DX, he's destroyed as well. These guys are all going to get thrown in the junk pile, I'm pretty sure. Okay, let me police this up and add up the points. Okay, we have a whopping 65 anti-aircraft points now. Excuse me. And only 5 bombers. So that's going to be the lowest of 5 dice. Lowest of 5 dice. The lowest 3 out of 5 dice, right? 65 AA. Lowest 3 out of 5 dice. Yep. It's going to be the end of the naval air arm for the Germans anyways. Those 5 dice. That's another die. A 2, a 3, and a 5. A 2, a 3, and a 5. That's 10 points total. So that will destroy 1. Well, we'll destroy this. Yeah, the naval air arm for Germany is getting slaughtered. Alright, so that's the ACAC, and we have 3, we have 5, we have 11 air to sea factors coming in on a total of 67 ships. Okay, well that's that. And that's 11. 2 sunk. We're going to pick the Lexington. Because whenever I can kill an American carrier for the Axis, it's a good thing. Okay, so he's got to roll better than a 5 to save it. And he rolls a 3. It's sunk. The Lexington goes down. And they will pick, I think we're going to pick the, Massachusetts has got a nice 2. So we're going to pick the Massachusetts for the Americans to save. I'll put it over here. Put it over here. So that's a 2. Oh, jeez, got to roll better than a 2. Otherwise it's sunk. Oh, and it's not. It's just damaged. And that is all the combat for this round. And let's see, do either side want to back out? Well, there's no naval air anymore. The only naval air is what the fascists have right now. Yeah, by the way, the Germans had to pay offensive points to get this many naval air units into the battle. So that's how they got this many, which is above their allotment for doing a naval. All right, let's see what happens. Search dice. Now, let's see, that's a 5 and a 5. So that's... Now, the funny thing is that the only thing that found anything was this group right here. And not even that group. It's only the, yeah, that group found something. And I don't think they're going to engage. None of the Allies found anything. So that's it for that season. These guys go back to their patrolling. He goes back to his patrolling. And we move on to that group. We will flip a sub to initiate the combat, and we will roll some dice. We rolled a 2 and a 4. 2 and a 4. And it's just out of camera shot. There we go. 2 and a 4. So, the Sunderland found something. And all the German groups except the group in the first box found something. However, let's see, surprise points, it's 5 to 5. There's no surprise points. So the British are going to say, we want a naval air. And the fascists will be okay with that. They'll go along with that. Now, so they got a Sunderland. And the fascists have 2 anti-aircraft against 1 plane. 2 anti-aircraft against 1 plane is no dice. Bummer. So he has 1 air-to-sea factor. He's going to go after the, whatever this one is. 1 air-sea factor is against 2 ships. It's 1 abort. 1 potential abort. So we'll have to roll for him. Better than an 8 and a 10. He only half aborts, which means he does not have to leave. We roll to see if it's combat again. Well, that's a pretty bad roll for both sides. We got this die here, and we got this die here, which is we got a 1 and we got a 3. So the 3 and the 1 means those 2 units can participate. Let's see, surprise, but they got more surprise. They can do air to sea again. So again, we'll go for the abort on the Oscar 2. And this time he does abort. So he's going to have to go back to here. Alright, we'll do another round. Okay, that time nobody found anybody. That's over. Now we'll move over to the Italians over here in the Central Atlantic. We'll flip a sub, and we'll roll 2 dice, and we got something. We did get something. We got a 4 and a 9. So the Italians, 2 subs found them. So he's got 13 for the 9 surprise points. 9 surprise points. He's got 7 sea combat factors. They have ASW of 2, 2, 3, 4, 5 ASW. 5 ASW. 5 ASW. ASW, 5 points. 2 subs. That's 1 damaged and 1 aborted. However, we have 13. We have 9 surprise points, so I'll use 4 of them to shift it down to 0. Nothing happens, and 2 column shifts for the 7 surface factors, the subs factors. It's going to be here, and we have 1, 2, 3, 6 ships. 6 ships. So we got 1 killed and 2 damaged. So the Italians will take out 3 convoys. So 3 convoys die. Take out the tankers. It'll be nice. And then 2 damage. So the damage will go on the York. We'll put the damage on the York. He has to roll better than a 6. He rolls a 9, so it's aborted. And the other damage, we'll put that on the other cruiser there, whatever that is. Can't even read it. What is that? Dispatch. Gotta roll better than a 8. And he don't, so he is damaged. And this guy is aborted, so he will go to wherever. Jamaica. Okay. And next round. The only thing that's going to save them convoys now is if the Italians can't find them. Well, a 3 and a 5 does find them. So there is, oh, let's figure out the, so that's 9, 3, that's 6 surprise points. He's going to have 1 ASW. This time it's 3 subs. 1 ASW. 3 ships. That's going to be 1 aborted. Can't get out of that. So we're going to roll. He wants to get rid of the, they're all 8s, so it doesn't matter. Let's take the, this one. Better than an 8 to not be aborted. And he rolled a 9. So he's half aborted. So he will actually be around after this, because that's only going to be, there's no more aborted to roll for. So now the Italians have 8, 9 against 2 ships, 9 sub-factors, 1 damaged, oops, 9 sub-factors, 2 ships. So that's 1, oh no, I got, I'm going to do a column shift for the surprise points. It's 1 sunk and 2 aborted. So we'll take 3 convoys for sunk, and the remainder are aborted. So I'm going to put them over here. Remember, they're aborted. And that's the end of that action. And I think that's the end of this. We did the Japanese already, the Italians are done, the Germans are done. I might have some air rebasing, but that's about it. So I will be back in a little bit with the rest of the next set of impulses. Okay, we're back to the fascist impulse. During the communist impulse, the Russians tried to patch up their line a little bit more. They seem to be holding okay, though they still have the September and October month coming up. That could be bad for them. They don't actually look that weak. The northern part of the line is kind of thin, but so isn't the Axis line. The Democrats, they didn't really do too much. The British sent a sub out. They did a combined action. The Americans sent a transport with a British militia unit down here, that Montreal militia. And that brought us back to the fascist impulse. The Japanese did a combined. They're going to have 1 land attack right here. In fact, let's do that right now. So we have a total of 5, 13, 14, and 3 is 17, which is 8.5 to 2. I don't know if he's in supply because it's not a surface combat ship. So yeah, he will be in supply. That was a mistake. The Japanese should have sent the ship out here. So what did I say? I got 17. It's 8 to 2. It's going to be a 4 to 1. They have it doesn't matter. It's a city. So 4 to 1. Straight up. Straight up. 4 to 1 straight up. Assault table. Anything but a 1 and they're good to go. Grab my die. They roll the 5. 5 will do it on the assault table. A 5 on 4 to 1 is 1, 2. So So the Japanese do bleed. They lose a unit. I can lose that territorial, and he'll lose his, is that militia? Yeah, that's a militia unit. Okay, and they'll occupy Rangoon. And that frees up that oil resource. Getting it somewhere might be a problem though, because we got this issue with this C zone. Who knows what's going to happen there. Okay, so that's it for that. Now let's go over to Europe, where we have 2 attacks by the Axis, or the Germans. We have a 6-1 here. There's no armor here. So the anti-tank unit is not doubled. There's an anti-tank unit right there. He's not doubled because there's no armor involved in this attack. Alright, so that's a 6-1 on the assault table, which becomes a 5-1. And roll the 7. 7 on the assault table at 5-1 is star 2S. So 1 unit for the Soviets is shattered, goes on the production spiral for next turn, and the other 2 units are destroyed. So basically, as a Soviet player, they kind of look at what costs what here, 2 or 3. They're going to put the anti-tank unit. They're going to consider that one to be shattered. The other two, one of them will be a cadre. The other one's a division. Doesn't get to be cadre. So this will go on for reinforcements for our next turn. And there's no blitzing, so the Germans will just occupy the hex. I guess those 2 don't really want to move that thing forward. That's really weak headquarters. Germans definitely have a lack of infantry. I think we'll put this 7-3 over here too. Like that. Yeah, they definitely have a lack of infantry. A lot of armor, no infantry. Over here, we have a 5-1 attack. There's no Soviet air power, and there's no German air power, so it's just 5-1 on the Blitzkrieg table. There's an NKVD unit there, and it's going to be +1 because they have armor. 5-1 on the Blitzkrieg table. I roll a 4, becomes a 5. Oh, star B. Okay, so S result plus breakthrough is a shadow result plus breakthrough. Destroy land units cannot retreat, place remaining lands on production spiral. Okay, so they all go on the production spiral to return next turn. None of them are destroyed. That's not exactly what the Germans were looking for. They were kind of trying to hope to kill that Guards Banner unit. However, this does put a breakthrough in place, and the 8-4 SS will break on through to the other side. A little doors action. And that's it for attack. So now we get to roll to see if the turn ends. I think we're at 3 right now. No, it's a 2. We're at 2. Alright, roll to see if the turn ends. Roll to 5. Turn continues. Alright. Roll for weather. So it's going to move it to the communist impulse. Oh, I'm sorry. There was 2 other things to do before we do that. get to those two other things right now. We have a potential naval action over here. Getting ahead of myself. All right, get all caught up in the big land battles. Yeah! Got a naval action here. The Germans are going to try to find. Yeah, maybe the British sub will make all the difference. Well, that don't find nothing. We got a 4 for the Commonwealth Americans and an 8 for the Germans. That's a big giant nothing. Sub action over here. Oh, we got a 4 for the, again, that's a nothing because nobody found anybody. And that's it. Oh, we got the Argentine Navy. They came out to play. Way down here. Oh, I can't see it. On the edge of the board. The Argentine Navy came out looking to have some fun. Alright, let's see if they find anybody. Oh, nope. That's why I don't really like rolling the dice in the middle of the board, because it just scatters everything. So much for the Argentine Navy and their big, oh, we're going to go get something. Alright, now the turn marker advances. That was fast. Big nothing of nobody. Alright. Okay, I'll do the Communist and the Democrat impulses. If there's any attacks, I'll be back. If not, we'll probably pick this up at the Fascist impulse. Okay, the turn ended on the Communist impulse. There were some partisans that popped up. One in France, one in Yugoslavia, one in the Soviet Union. There was going to be one, I think, in China, but there was no place to put it. Okay, so for production. Germany produced 50, started with 37, spent 42. Japan produced 23, started with 7, spent 9. Italy produced 12, got 1 cadre, started with 13, spent 14. The Soviet Union produced 31, got 8 in Lend-Lease from the US and the Commonwealth, and 9 cadre, for a total of 48, started with 39, spent 44. The Commonwealth produced 25, got 3 Lend-Lease from the US, gave 3 Lend-Lease to the Soviet Union for 25, started with 11, spent 19. The United States sent out 8 in Lend-Lease, produced 50, started, which netted 42, started with 26, and spent 36. China got 2 from cadres, produced 3, started with 5, spent 6. Started with 6, spent 5. And Free France spent nothing. I will get this turn uploaded as soon as I can. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Any comments, like, subscribe. I will see you soon with another turn. Thanks again.